newer anticoagulant agents and spinal or neuroaxial anesthesia. I have prepared this from New York School of Anesthesia, Mysura. First of all, dabigatran. Dabigatran is a direct thrombin inhibitor. It is a prodrug. Its peak effect reaches in the blood after 1.5 to 3 hours. आप 1.5 से 3 घंटे के अंदर इसका पीक इफेक्ट आता है ओरली लेने के बाद, और इसकी टी हाफ लाइफ है 14 to 17 आवर्स। इसकी 80% क्लियरेंस किडनीज के थ्रू होती है। दैट मीन वी हैव टू बी वेरी कॉशियस इन पेशेंट विद रीनल डिजीज। Then next, sensitivity test. How to assess the effect of anticoagulation? We can test it with dilute thrombin time or thrombin clotting time. Another test is Akarian clot time. Prothrombin time simple does not assess the dabigatran effect. Then this newer anticoagulant has no antidote. If it is taken, we cannot reverse its effect. Although we can use activated charcoal is given within 2 hours of the dabigatran, then it can absorb the dabigatran, or we can put the patient on dialysis for immediate clearance. Recently, FDA has approved a drug, Adalimumab, that binds with the dabigatran. Then a patient who is taking dabigatran, when we have to give spinal. If a patient is on dabigatran, then we should wait for 72 hours before giving spinal, epidural, or any neuroaxial procedure or any block. It is recommended by SRA that patient on dabigatran should not be put on epidural catheter. Secondly, when to restart the dabigatran. After giving the neuroaxial anesthesia, after the 4 hours of the procedure, we can start the dabigatran. Now, where the dabigatran is used? Dabigatran is mainly used in the venous thromboembolism, acute state, prevention of recurrent venous thromboembolism, and in patient with acute fibrillation, decrease the rate of stroke and systemic embolism similar to warfarin. It is not useful in total joint orthosurgeries, replacement surgeries. It is in some studies it is equally as effective as enoxaparin. So this is all about dabigatran. Special precaution must be taken in patient with renal disease or taking other anticoagulants, aspirin, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. There are more risk of bleeding. The next is rivaroxaban. This is direct factor 10A inhibitor. Its peak plasma concentration reaches after 2.5 to 4 hours and maintained for 12 hours. In elderly, this peak level is maintained for 24 to 48 hours. It is 1/3 dose is eliminated by the kidney. So we have to clearly the patient has kidney disease and decreased dose. Prothrombin time or anti-factor 10A are the recommended for monitoring the effect of rivaroxaban. It also has no antidote, but we can use an activated charcoal to increase absorption if it is given within 8 hours of the rivaroxaban use. Or we can use the 4-factor plasma complex concentrate to reverse its anticoagulant effect. Due to its high protein binding, dialysis is not useful. So when to give spinal anesthesia in patient on rivaroxaban? If patient is on this drug, wait for 36 hours to give spinal or epidural anesthesia. Epidural catheter is not recommended in these patients. And when to restart the drug? After giving the spinal or neuroaxial anesthesia, after 4 hours, we can restart the rivaroxaban anticoagulant. This drug is mainly used for venous thromboembolism, stroke, and during atrial fibrillation. It is useful in total joint orthosurgeries, replacement surgeries. It is equal to or better than enoxaparin. So in some studies, rivaroxaban is more effective than enoxaparin. Then next anticoagulant is apixaban. Apixaban is highly specific factor 10A inhibitor. Its peak effect in blood reaches in 1 to 2 hours and its T half-life is almost 15.2 hours. This is superior to warfarin in stroke and equivalent to enoxaparin when used in total knee replacement or total hip replacement surgery. Dilute prothrombin time is the most sensitive test to monitor the effect of this drug, its anticoagulant effect. Anti-factor 10 assay can also be used. So dilute prothrombin test and anti-factor 10 assay test can be used to monitor the effect of apixaban. Also, this has no antidote. We can give an activated charcoal even within 3 hours of taking the drugs to increase its absorption. Recently, FDA has approved andexanet, a recombinant modified human factor 10A decoy protein that binds with the factor 10A inhibitor in rivaroxaban and apixaban. So when to give spinal anesthesia in such patient? If the patient is on apixaban, wait for 72 hours and then you can give neuroaxial anesthesia. Again, epidural catheter is not advised in these patients and we can restart the apixaban after 4 hours of giving the dose. We have to be careful in the patient on renal disease. There may be prolonged effect. Next is fondaparinux. This is selective factor 10A inhibitor. This is a synthetic anticoagulant and it's rapidly absorbed at its bioavailability is 100%. Its peak effect reaches in 1.7 hours and half-life is 17 to 21 hours. It's used in both orthopedic surgery and in pulmonary embolism. So if a patient on fondaparinux, wait for 36 hours of the last dose and then you can give neuroaxial anesthesia. It is again advised that epidural catheter should not be used in these patients, but if used, wait for 12 hours to remove the catheter. And in the post-op period, after giving the spinal or epidural, you can use the fondaparinux again after 12 hours of its use. There are some general rules while giving spinal. Patient on the neuroanticoagulants, usually double the half-life is adequate compromise between risk of venous thromboembolism and prevention of spinal hematoma. These anticoagulants are typically resumed within 24 to 40 hours in most patients, but can be sooner in patients with high risk for venous thromboembolism or stroke, that is 24 hours minus time to peak effect of the drug in plasma, 24 hours minus peak time to reach plasma. General guideline: we should avoid multiple spinal anesthesia attempts. No blood in the spinal needle, that is atraumatic needle placement. No other drugs like heparin, steroid, NSAIDs, kidney disease. Avoid epidural catheter. Thank you.